first things first, right? Cardi B deleting all IG photos of Stefon Diggs. To all intents and purposes, what that's saying to us is that predictably, Stefon Diggs has dumped Cardi B. You understand what I'm saying? And that just brings a few things to mind, man. I start thinking back and reminiscing, and it just brings a couple things to mind. Remember, not too long ago, Cardi B was, going through something with Offset, and she was kind of out there, and she was trying to kind of stick it in Offset's face that she had this new man, and it was such a big upgrade and whatnot. And then I thought about this, the last thing that we heard about Cardi B and Offset when they were together. Cardi B confirms affair with another man while pregnant. Remember, he accused her of having sex with another dude while the baby was still inside her, and she responded and did. Remember that? Mm-hmm. That guy was Stefon Diggs, right? Mm-hmm. And, again, I just kind of backtrack, and I'm the kind of person I like to look at what's going on. And when you look into that character who was supposedly such an upgrade, the first thing I thought about was, I remember this guy. That a woman said that he attacked her, right? That's the guy that she supposedly upgraded from Offset. And I just thought that was very interesting because I thought that, they had this sisterhood and it was believe all women and, protect the women's and all this. That's what I thought. You understand? And then I thought back a little more. I did a lot of thinking. And I remember this same guy had another weird case where this other cat, this man, said that he drugged him and tried to have sex with him. And it just got a little crazy. And again, the dangers of lacking sexual discipline. We're going to get into some more of the things that are kind of out of whack and how it gets crazy, but in a very simple, round the way ass type of analysis. Lacking sexual discipline will just have you out here looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like on some real stuff, it'll just have you out here looking stupid because Cardi B looks ridiculous right now. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like all of this was avoidable. She has, this tendency to present herself as this loose and just kind of sexually free person who just don't care about nothing. She carries herself any old kind of way. And guys kind of treat her that way. Just broadly speaking, or men view her that way, I should say. The only one that's ever really actually claimed her in the industry is Offset. And Offset was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Now another dude comes along, he's like, nah, I'm good. You feel me? And so like your failure, your lack of sexual discipline has you looking crazy out here. His lack of sexual discipline, he got people saying that, he assaulted them, men at that. There's a woman out here saying that he physically assaulted her. And you saw this as someone that was fit to go and involve yourself with. So I don't know, man. It looks kind of crazy. She's looking kind of crazy out here to me. What y'all saying?
Yeah. When it comes down to Stefon Diggs, dude has a lot going on. He's a person that is very toxic. If you know his background, his background of his childhood and things like that, dude been through some shit, and he hasn't gotten that therapy and things like that. And then you take the aspect of him being a football player, CTE, and all this other bullshit going on. And that atmosphere alone makes him be violent because it's in their nature to play that way. So when you hear the attack from behind, you know, sometimes this guy gets into a space where it's hard for him to separate reality from thinking that he's on the field, tackling somebody or attacking from behind. Normally you do that on a football field. So when you look at everything that goes on with Cardi B and Offset, you see the choices that she makes. You start to realize, like, everybody wants to claim Cardi B as a victim, but looking at her choices, this lady loves toxicity. And just like how he doesn't exude sexual discipline, he actually is very loose with it. Cardi B is actually loose with it. Let's not forget that Cardi B was tying niggas up, getting drugged and raped. You know, that type of behavior is on some fucked up shit. So it aligns with what Stefon Diggs got going on as well. So that whole trauma bonding that I keep talking about, how you trauma bond with people, that's how you attach to people. And it's crazy because she didn't let him go, he let her go. And his reason that he said that he let her go was that her BBL had a smell to it. And that's another thing that
they say that's a rumor. They say that's a rumor.
It can't be a rumor. It can't be a rumor because you know why? I'm gonna tell you why it's not a rumor. Because you have people, there's nurses that's coming on. I'm not sure if I put that in the chat where I ran across a video, but there's a nurse that said that she's been doing the BBL massages because there are licensed professionals that do that. And she was saying that a lot of these women, because they go around to different people and their money ain't right to get it done right, they're having holes open. And not only that, not only if they're not getting it right, even if they are getting it right, a lot of these women don't know how to take care of themselves. True. She said they're not changing the bandage, they're not putting on and doing the proper care that they need to take it on. So when you don't do that, it's gonna have an odor. And a lot of these women that's running around with BBLs, you're hearing people talk about it's an odor. And they are trying to silence it because people don't want that thing to go out there because there's so many women with BBLs. Now it's going to be a stigma on them and people are going to run the opposite direction when they hear that you got a BBL for that same reason. So when you start seeing things like that and you start seeing how these people are lined up, and always remember, and I'll land my plane with this, always remember, as much as you hate Kevin Samuels, and I know a lot of y'all hate Kevin Samuels, but brother been speaking some truth to power that will help you out. When that man told women, listen, you are only going to get the height of your baby daddy. Stefon Diggs is the height of Offset. No matter how the fuck you look at it, they're two peas in the same pod. And I'll land my plane on that.
All facts. Bobby Drake.
Let me go hop on this ATV one time. Look, there are no victims. There are no victims. None. There are only willing participants.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I don't know what it's going to take. This is universal. Dudes will sit back and laugh and, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right. That's what's going on with Cardi B. That's what, okay. It goes for you too, Chucklehead. So don't laugh too hard. Them three fingers might be pointing you square in your face too. Water finds its own level.
Sure do.
I know the dream because we have a whole bunch of self-centered, egomaniacal, narcissistic people running rampant, like some 28 days later outbreak. I know that's the case, so I know this is going to really shatter a lot of people's egos and their dreams and fantasies. But contrary to popular belief, it's a lot more difficult to pull the finesse move and get more than you deserve than you think it is. We live in a very transactional era where the mindset isn't, let's negotiate, let's come to the table, let's find a way how everyone can walk away satisfied. No one feels ripped off or no one feels like they're left holding the bag. Everyone feels that they got value from this negotiation. We don't live in that era. We live in an era where a lot of people think my objective is to go to the table and I'm trying to run off with the bag. I'm trying to get absolutely as much as I can get for as least as I can give. That's the mindset. So a lot of people, your Cardi B's are thinking, you know what? I'm a piece of hot trash. I'm a piece of flaming doo-doo. Despite that, I'm not going to keep it fair in a buck and try to look for my fellow turd on fire. Nah, I'm going to go see if I can get some 24 karat solid gold or some platinum if I can. I'm going to see if I can get me some Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to try and get. And a lot of people have this image that, well, I can be as garbage as I want to be, and I can go ahead and pull manna from the sky because I keep telling myself that I'm the best and I'm an amazing and I'm going to manifest it and set my intentions on it and all the other nonsense and BS. You tell yourself that, but unfortunately, there's this damn little problematic thing called reality.
Yeah.
And it's just like every time the Scooby-Doo villain gets busted in this, and I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that puppet. The meddling kids and the puppy are called reality.
Right.
And that's why so many of you all think that I'm going to come out on the other side all grins. Then you find out, no, it failed. Why? Because you're trash. And so the outcome, the partner, what you're looking for was also trash. Nothing is wrong. Things are actually working the way they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Because thank God you didn't get someone that was actually better for you to drag them down and torture them and make their lives hell. Thank God that didn't work out. So when Cardi B goes from an Offset to a Stefon Diggs, and he dogs her out just as bad, if not worse than Offset, that's not the system broken. That's not something wrong in the force. There's no disturbance in the force. This is called justice, and this is good. So for all the dysfunctional Cardi B robots out there that think that this is a tragedy, boo-hoo, go cry in the car. For everybody else halfway functional, this should be both an encouraging moment to remind us that justice is still a thing in the world, that good people still get what coming their way and bad people still get what's coming their way. This should also serve as a moment to try and go ahead and make sure that we're doing the right thing so that way we don't end up getting the results that a Cardi B is getting.
Conversations 2020.